This channel is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions.
Hi, this is Joe Rabil. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to show you a video that I saw years ago about a guy who did a back test and showed why technical analysis does not work. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I'm using the stats from this back test to prove how my system actually does work. Okay, so I'm going to go through this. It actually came up from our Discord, someone bringing up a back test that I did going back 10 years. And it basically, it does show the same kind of data that what we see from the back test that I'm going to show you today, just in the inverse. Okay, so let's go ahead and get going with this. I think it'll make a lot more sense. Now, I wanted to show you my services page. You can see I've got my trend and momentum courses. They are all lifetime now, and you can buy them as a bundle at a discount as well. And then the individual package has about 2 to 3 reports each week, plus a special video for that package. I did want to mention also, if you do want to get started on this approach and something that will explain kind of what I'm talking about today in more detail, you can start with my book. You can actually click the link in the description to find out more. Now, if you do enjoy this content, please hit that like button and also subscribe. Okay, let's start out with this back test. All right, and I just want to make sure I'm explaining this well, and I'm covering this. So it's I'm not sure. The one thing I don't remember from this is how many years back it was. It might have been, going back a year or two. I think it was off daily time frame, which is fine, which makes sense. And what this was showing was, these are the moving averages, the 15, 50 moving average. So a bullish signal would be when the 15 MA crossed above the 50, and the bearish signal would be when the 15 MA crossed down below the 50. Now, for anyone who knows anything that I do, my approach at all, that's not an operative signal for me. All right. But the downside signal is something we watch to wait and wait for the opposing signal, and it'll make a lot more sense when I get into the charts. So you can see these are all kind of around the 1840. I mean, it's not exact, but it's pretty close. It give you a feel for, the win rate is not very good when you're playing these downside crossovers, and that's all you're looking at. Okay, so I wanted to make sure I just kind of showed you this template, so it just makes sense. And they were just proving, oh yeah, if you just did a buy and hold, you'd have been way better off. So I wanted to show you some examples of what they're describing and how we take advantage of that in the approach that I use. All right, so I'm looking at this ECH. Yeah, I cherry picked this one. No doubt. I picked one that just skyrocketed. All right, they don't all do this, and I'm not trying to prove that they do. I just want to point this out so that it makes sense. And one of the reasons why I picked this one out is it has two separate signals that are basically using my approach back to back. All right. Now, let's not focus too much on this right now. All right, let's just look at the moving average complex, and you can see what's happening on the higher time frame weekly on the left, and then there's the daily on the right. But on the weekly on the left side here, we've got 18 above the 40. Okay, these are simple moving averages, just like what they were using in the back test, and both of them are rising. All right, this one flattened out here, but it was still considered rising based on the way I look at the world, and the same thing happened here. Right, and as long as that's the case, all right, we have an uptrend on the higher time frame. All right. Now, what the back test was showing was when the 18 crosses down below the 40, or in their case, it was a 15 crosses down below the 50. All right. That is a operative sell signal. All right. Now, what we do in the approach that I use is, if the higher time frame is in an uptrend, like it was here, well, it was actually right in this area where this took place, then we do not short. We do not sell. We're not selling or getting out of this and putting in a short sell. We are actually waiting for price to turn back around and cross back above the moving averages. Okay, and especially when we get this little mini undercut like that, that's a juicy little signal where it comes down and tests the low, undercuts it a little bit, and then turns back to the upside. All right, now this upside signal would be basically our operative buy signal when the higher time frame is in an uptrend. Okay, if the higher time frame is not in an uptrend, then we have no signal. All right, now if you notice, we made a nice move from there, and then look at what happened. We get another downside crossover where 18 crosses down below the 40, or in the back test, the 15 crosses down below the 50, and they're basically going short here. Okay, and what we're doing is going and looking and seeing, wow, we're actually pulling right back to the 18 MA above a rising 40 here. Okay, and we actually want to wait. We don't want to go short. We're not going to short this. We're going to wait for price to come back above the key moving averages. Now, this is a different trigger. So this is a different pattern than this. All right, and we're going to use what's going on in the MACD and the ADX to help us with that, and with the timing and the trigger and everything. But generally speaking, we're waiting for a close back above the 40 in the right circumstances in most cases. All right, and if you notice there, this one actually obviously set up a very nice signal. We had a pretty strong trend condition in place on the higher time frame. So this is the kind of combination we're looking for. So where they're saying we have a downside crossover and we're going to go short, we actually want to wait and pounce on the reversal of that, the failure of that short signal. People are going short on a downside crossover. We want to take advantage of it when it turns back to the upside. Okay, now let me just give you another example here. Look at the IWM. The IWM makes a move up and then it pulls back on to the weekly chart. All right, I mean to the weekly 18 MA. If you look at it on the daily chart, it just looks like it's breaking down. It looks like the 18's crossing down below the 40, and we want to get short here if that's all you're looking at. But if you have the 18 on the higher time frame underneath, you know that we don't want to be doing that. We want to actually wait for a reversal of that signal and go long. Okay, so we're waiting for this to come back above the 1840 and go long on that pattern. So that's just a different example of the same thing I just showed you. And, you go through my book and you'll understand this very quickly. The details of which do incorporate some MACD and ADX in the book. I don't want to exclude them off of that. They're very important once you start to dive into this a little bit more in depth. But the basic premise is that we are looking for an uptrend on the higher time frame and the reverse of that on the lower time frame, and then we wait for failure on that lower time frame. Let me give you another example. So look at this drop in the S&P back in 2025. We get this monster move to the downside. The 18 crosses down below the 40. Okay, now this is a little bit different because we actually are breaking the 18. We're not using the 18 as rolling over on the higher time. We're not using the 18 as support here. We're basically, showing a rising moving average, rising moving average, rising moving average, and then we break this line on this decline. So this is not the type of signal we want to get long. This is a no-go, right? We're not playing this. Now this is where the backtest for this guy that did this would show, yeah, this was a terrible signal. This was actually a winning signal to the downside, where the 18 crossed down below the 40 and it actually won on the daily chart. But we're actually looking for the failures of that. And in this case, it wasn't a failure because the higher time frame wasn't in an uptrend. Okay, so just understand this combination and how we're trying to use the higher time frame as support. And I think this whole process will make a lot more sense to you. So, and I also don't want to claim that it was an 80% win rate or anything like that. It wasn't. When I did my back test, it wasn't like that because I was using a stop. Anytime you use a stop, you're going to have a little bit more of a lower win rate, but it was still an excellent win rate and the performance was very, very good. So just thought I'd bring this up. I thought it was interesting. I came across this old slide and I just thought it was worth reiterating how important it is to understand you have to use in my opinion, you have to use multiple time frame analysis when you're trading using technical analysis. It's a massive edge over the average person who is just using a single time frame to try and get in and get out. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll see you next time.